I've decided to take a closer look at every happy moment in Berserk and have a quick analysis if they can be considered a true, genuine happiness. Let me know if I missed anything. And by happiness, I mean our protagonist being happy, not you guys being happy because someone evil got his ass kicked, okay? Berserk being a dark fantasy genre is mainly full of brutal and sad moments. Miura, making the most out of medieval set for his dark fantasy story, needed to adapt most of the terrifying things that were happening during that era. Wars, murders, rapes, class hierarchy, it's all there. Guts, after getting back to the Band of the Hawk under Casca leadership and rescuing Griffith, he realizes that he only sees happiness in his life after it is already gone. So there isn't much of a happiness in Berserk, although there are quite few funny moments, Puck being in the center of, I would say, 80% of those. Isidro also plays a big part in the humor of the story. Basically, Puck and Isidro, they make a really funny duo. So there are few smiles, but I don't identify humor as happiness. Arguably, Guts and Casca having their moment might be the happiest moment in the whole Berserk, but I don't really think that is true. I think that it was more of a finding comfort in their arms. Casca had a lot on her plate at that time. She sees Guts as a reliable comrade and a friend that will always do whatever is necessary for her. Also, Guts was always near her, available physically and mentally, unlike Griffith, who was always looking ahead. And we all know that them forming some sort of a couple was made hugely for the sake of next events being even more controversial and hurtful. So I don't think that them having sex is the peak of happiness in the story. At that time we already know that in Berserk for every good, positive moment, a drastically worse one happens after. In 97 adaptation, most happy moments are backed up by the Earth soundtrack, like celebrating battles that the band has won. Guts really quickly finds the Band of the Hawk as a different group to any other group of mercenaries. Him really feeling at home was one of the rare happy moments in Berserk. Another happy moment is when the Band of the Hawk is greeted by hundreds of people cheering the winners of the battle for the Doldore Castle. After that, the protagonists are being granted noble status and the 100 Years' War is officially over. Definitely happy days. The very underestimated moment in the story is the time when Guts left the Hawks and lives with Godo and Erika. This is included in 20th episode of 97 adaptation named Sparks. Guts looks happy then by just being able to help that family. He is searching for a new purpose while being loyal to his sword, which represents his life.
一度にあんなにたくさんは。
そうだな。こいつは夢じゃない。こいつはもっと身近で、そう、俺の体の一部だ。耐えきれるはずのない苦痛も、死を実感した瞬間も、こいつと一緒に越えてきた。忘れられないこと、忘れられない人間、すべてをこいつで、この切っ先で感じてきた。こいつは俺が生きてきたことそのものなんだ。
It looks like a safe area where gods have a lot of thinking about the future. He also doesn't need to be involved in any battles and any killing. This is the first time since he was a teenager where he tries to form some sort of a future for himself, where he is looking for a new purpose. When it comes to Berserk, this is a part in story when it is as happy as it can get. Before Guts heard Griffith's conversation with Prince Charlotte, he thought of Griffith as friend. That friendship was making him happy as he admired Griffith for being such successful and charismatic while Guts being similar age and only focused on surviving in another battle. Miura also did very well in portraying Guts' development. After he lost his friend in the eclipse, he went on a mad journey to kill apostles. He was at the edge of the sanity then, but when he found Casca in irrational state, he accepted that he needs to open out for new friends that would be willing to help him in taking care of Casca. Creating a new family-like team definitely opened his heart for some form of happiness. Guts being a main protagonist, it is his emotions that form the mood of a story, and he was happy very little during the beginning of his struggles. Another moment of happiness is when Skull Knight tells Guts that the God Hand might be down the road. Puck as an elf has an ability to recognize people's emotions. He recognized the joy of Guts. He is having a smile of a psychopath brought by the excitement of all the dreams he had of taking revenge on Griffith. Obviously, very happy moment was on the beach when Guts was very worried for Casca, wondering when was the last time she ever smiled. But then Skull Knight tells him that Casca can be fixed. She can regain her consciousness. So the big amount of hope translates into big happiness. The Moonlight Boy empowers the happy feeling of the whole scene as he falls into Casca's hands and both with Guts have problem to hold him up. They look quite like a family by doing that, and technically it is true. Actually, every time Moonlight Boy appears it is quite playful time and maybe even a bit silly, but those are definitely bits of happiness and joy. Another one would be when our protagonist arrived to the Elf Island. It is a natural, peaceful place where only people with no malice within their hearts are allowed. This is another time when our protagonists can take a break from fighting and killing. This is the time and place where Casca is regaining her mind, which is probably the happiest moments in the whole Berserk. It brought so much joy to each of the characters, but as we could expect, there was a caveat just ahead, as Miura never really allows the characters to be truly happy. Guts has a lot of struggles in his history. He endured more punishment than most, and his life was almost fully a painful experience, but by struggling and never giving up, he overcomes the difficulties. By becoming more powerful, he will be able to protect his friends, and I believe he will be able to force his way into happiness. We all keep fingers crossed for him because he has been through so much. He deserves a happy life or a happy ending.